Royal Caribbean is changing one of their policies to something Princess has been doing for years, but I think they're doing it better. Thank you for watching today. I'm Jeff, and if you've watched my videos for a while, you know that when we cruise, my wife and I like to spend some time in the old casino. Sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But the last few years, we've been on the Casino Players Club radar, and they've been offering us free cruises. When you get a free cruise, you do still have to pay some money. Now, you may be thinking, Jeff, how can that possibly be? Free is free, isn't it? Well, yes and no. You get your stateroom for free, and depending on how much you gamble, it could be an inside cabin, a balcony, or maybe even a suite if you're a high roller. We aren't huge gamblers, so we've always gotten an offer for an inside cabin, except for one time we were offered a balcony. So you get your cabin for free, but you do still have to pay the taxes and a few other fees. To give you an example, I just looked up a cruise with an inside cabin on the Enchanted Princess. It's a 10-day Southern Caribbean cruise out of Fort Lauderdale. The government taxes and fees are $131.38, and the cruise fees and expenses are $68.62 for a total of an even $200. $200 per person for a 10-day cruise is a pretty good deal, wouldn't you say? But it's actually $400 per person because there's a $200 per person non-refundable deposit. However, once you get on board, they give you that deposit back in the form of onboard credit. So why do they make you pay $200 just to give it back to you? Well, Princess has been doing this for years, and now Royal Caribbean decided that it's a good idea, and they're going to start doing it too. Evidently, there are some people out there who book a free cruise and then for some reason or another, they just don't show up. So the ship sails away with an empty cabin that possibly could have been filled. The deposit is an added incentive for people not to skip out on their free cruise. It's no big secret that we love Princess, but Royal Caribbean is adding something to this offer that makes it even better than what Princess does. Princess is pretty strict about their policy of the deposit being non-refundable for any reason. Yes, there are some exceptions, but they're rare. However, Royal Caribbean's policy says that you'll get a full refund as long as you cancel at least 7 days in advance. I think that's a pretty decent policy. Now remember, if you get a free cruise offer, not only do you have to pay the taxes, the fees, and the deposit, but there's also gratuities, excursions, bar tabs, specialty dining, flights to the port, hotels. You get the idea, a lot of extra expenses. The free cruise is probably going to cost you a few $1,000s, but it's also probably going to be less than if you booked it without the offer. Also remember that there may be some cruises that are excluded in this offer. We just ran into that problem. There was a cruise that we were looking at that was included in this offer a few weeks ago, but I just tried to book it and Princess has taken the cruise off the list. So now, instead of being free, an inside cabin for this 7-day cruise is just over $1,000 per person, and that's before the taxes and fees. We're going to sit back and wait and see if in the weeks to come the cruise goes back on the list. Otherwise, we're probably going to look at other cruises that are on the list. Whenever I do a video that talks about visiting the casino on the ship, I always like to say that my wife and I take a certain amount of money with us that's sort of earmarked for this activity. And we never bet any more than we're willing to lose. We've left the ship with extra money in our pockets, and we've left the ship with less money in our pockets. I guess that's why they call it gambling, right? If you think you may have a problem with gambling, there are resources out there like 1-800-GAMBLER that offer free confidential help. If you need it, it's there. Please give this video a like to help get it recommended to others, and then consider subscribing to the Backroads Tourist channel. I bring you videos on cruising tips, tricks, news, and reviews several times each week, and every now and then, just to mix things up a little bit, I throw in a video about an interesting, unusual, or quirky place that I visited. And I think you just might like those videos too. I don't want you to miss out, so subscribe today. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jeff, and I hope to see you on a future cruise, especially if it's a quote-unquote free one.